What up, y'all? Hope y'all enjoying the summer. I want to make a video on what do I believe is the number one reason why as a man you're not getting dates in 2025 or in the modern day. And I personally, like, a lot of people will say a lot of things. They'll say, oh, it's your height, it's your money, it's your status, how you dress, how you smell, how you communicate, this, that, and a third, how funny you are. A lot of people will try to break it down, like, about what you are and what you have to offer a woman. But personally, I take a different stance. I believe that the number one reason why a man struggles to get dates in 2025, it has to do with texting. Okay, it has to do with how modern women have came to view texting as an alternative to a first date, right? That's the modern way that a woman thinks. They view texting as an alternative to a first date, or maybe not as an alternative, but as a screening process to a first date. And this almost always results in a date never happening, right? So our parents had to start from the date. That was ground zero, right? Or at the very least, you started from a phone call. You called their house and you actually hear their voice, and there's some accountability behind that, right? There's like an actual connection, right? But a modern women, because they value safety, they're always gonna go where it's most safe. And for them, in today's era, that's behind a screen, in the comfort of their own living room or whatever, behind a screen, they're gonna text, right? And if they don't feel a spark, a connection, or feel safe, then they're just not gonna go, right? But the problem is that texting cannot really provide those things. It can't really provide a connection. You're not hearing their tone. You're not able to see their facial expression. You're not able to really feel that person, right? And I know this for a fact because I've had so many times where it was difficult to get a woman out on a date, but once she's out on the date, she's enjoying it, like she's having a really good time, and then we end up going on more dates, right? So the main reason why you can't get dates, probably, or even if you do increase all your other things, your looks, your job, your whatever, the main obstacle you're gonna face is this, that women consider texting as an alternative to a first date, or they use it as a screening method, while our parents' generation didn't have to. They showed up in person so that a connection could be built quicker than you could be screened out, right? That makes sense, right? They could build a connection in person quicker than the woman could screen them out. So the emotional connection already outdid it, right? You got to understand the issue with texting, okay? The issue is that if you understand, what usually makes a casual date is usually built off of passing comments, right? Passing comments like, oh, hey, look at that bird. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, wow. Oh, there's a, coffee shop. Let's go grab a coffee real quick. Oh, it's a river. Let's go sit by the river. It's just kind of quick passing comments. You just chat, and drop your, you touch on a topic for a second and drop it and move on. And it's like a flow, right? The problem with that is that when you text somebody, the texting moves so slow that I think the woman has a higher expectation for how each text is supposed to make her feel, right? So let's say you make that same passing comment, passing comment. Let's say you went to the grocery store today and you bought your favorite drink, right? If you say that over text, that text is gonna sit in her inbox for, let's say, 2-3 hours, or maybe less, or maybe more. So she's unconsciously thinking, okay, we're only talking every 2 or 3 hours. So each text has to hit hard. Each text has to give me this emotional high. But the problem is it doesn't, because they're passing comments, right? That's generally how people text and how people communicate in a casual environment. So the problem is that when you text a woman, it's extremely hard, if not impossible, for your text to hit emotionally hard, like to actually really spike her emotions a lot. While if you're in person, you can make 50 to 100 passing comments in an hour, and those add up, right? But if you say some minor, passing comment to a woman over text, because you're only doing like 3, 4, or 5 of those per day, because that's typically how many text exchanges you might have with a woman in a day, probably 5, unless you're texting really quick, back and forth. But it could sometimes even be only 1 exchange per day, or 2 or 3 exchanges per day, right? Depending on if it's a work day or whatever. And those passing comments, it's not enough. And then they go, oh, I don't feel a connection, I don't feel a spark, and they don't show up. And the thing is that it's like, I think women, they want to believe that they can transfer from a texting relationship into a date, but I think women they can't do it. When they go on a date with you, they think you're a different person. They literally, they can't compute that you're the same person over text. It's like they feel like they're meeting with a whole new person, and so they can't do it. They can't transfer from the texting conversation to a date. And that's why if you're on dating apps, let's say, you'll have a conversation with somebody, a woman, you ask her out, she doesn't go, right? And she doesn't show up, or they flake, or they unmatch you, or whatever the hell. And that's why it happens so much. So the thing that I'm trying to say is that you really just have to be patient, right? You can work on your income, your this and that and the third, but I swear this is the main obstacle you're facing. That's the main obstacle you're gonna face, right? Like, for example, I know this girl right now who goes to one of my family members' church, and I'm pretty dang sure she likes me. I know her friend was encouraging us to hang out, and that's her best friend. So I know that the friend probably knows that she likes me. And I ask her out, and then she says no. And now, we've been texting a lot. She's putting in a lot of effort, texting me even when I don't text first, telling me that she saw someone that looks like me in public, wondering if it was me. So she's thinking of me, she's on my mind. And now I messaged, it's been a few hours, and to ask her out again, but we're gonna find out what happens. I think a lot of the time it's like they show interest over text, and you're like, this girl likes me, why is she messaging me, this, that, and a third, and you ask her out and she doesn't go, right? So don't be so hard on yourself. I think there is ways that you can give women perspective. Just say like, hey, let's show up as friends. We don't have to pay, or we can pay for our own meals, so that it's like there's no pressure or anything like that. And just say something like, I believe people should just meet to have fun, first time meeting, and that's more important than where it's gonna go. Like, you can give women perspective and help them feel comfortable like that. That's, I think, the best thing that you can do, is literally just to give her perspective. Also, to get better at texting, but sometimes you can't. There's nothing. This is the biggest obstacle you will face, right? Is that she thinks that who you are, like, she thinks that she can feel you over text, but it's not the same, right? People who show up on dates and talk and walk in the park, get a coffee, I can almost guarantee you there's a way higher chance that they will go on a second date than someone who starts in text like and trying to get a first date. So that's why I have this belief getting second dates is way easier than getting first dates. The reason for that is because people who meet in person, they invest in each other and they actually feel connected at the end of the date, and they actually feel like, okay, this guy's not gonna kill me. You know, the woman thinks, oh, this guy's not gonna hurt me, he's not a serial killer, he is who he says he is. But before a woman goes on a date, she doesn't know. She'll be like, I had a good time texting, he still might be a serial killer, so they just don't show up. So don't be so hard on yourself. I think that's literally the reason. So if you can, just be patient, and see if you can get one of her friends to back you up, to invite you out. See if you can get one of your friends to maybe, you know, help you out, be a wingman, and just be patient with the girl and wait until maybe you can get her out at a time that feels more natural and she'll actually come. All right, so yeah, that's why I believe that's the number one reason why you're struggling to get dates in 2025. Or if you haven't fully improved yourself a lot, like let's say you have to lose weight, all right, maybe that's your obstacle now, but I can almost guarantee you that when you lose that weight, let's say, and you think, oh, I'm gonna get a bunch of girls now, you will face the obstacle that I'm talking about. All right, and I'm going on dates, but don't get me wrong, this is the obstacle that I'm struggling with. All right, okay, have a good day. Peace.